And here we are, supply drop number 20. Supply drop number 20. That is 20 times, 20 different curated boxes that we here at CrateClub have sent to our members. That is thousands of people who have received these specially curated boxes with the best gear that we can find. And what bothers me is that you haven't joined yet. I know that there are some of you out there that wish you had the contents of this box. You've seen the stuff, you know that it's cool, you know that it's valuable, and I want you to have it. I want you to be a part of the community. This stuff matters. It will improve your life. It will improve the utility of the things around you. You will interact with the world differently because you will now be prepared. You have the knowledge and you have the equipment to handle any situation that life throws at you. So get together.
Get your together. Get it all together and put it in a backpack. All your so it's together.
Specifically, in a CrateClub customized backpack from DEF CON 5, get it all together and join the club. But I digress. This is Supply Drop 20, the major box. As always, we give you this beautiful pamphlet that walks you through everything that is inside your box. This stuff is important because the gear that we provide you has an intended purpose, and this will give you a description of that intended purpose. Make sense? Let's drive on. What do I want to show you first? This wallet from 511 Tactical. The Steel Jacket Multi-Tool Wallet 2.0 makes an impact when the need arises. The simple yet functional design has 17 tools and a place to store your cards and cash, made from high-quality steel that you can count on. I think wallet might be a little bit deceiving, but you really could cram your cards and cash in here. What you're looking at is actually two multi-tools shaped like a credit card that have been combined by this rubber band, right? So what you do, take off the rubber band, and you now have access to all of the tools on the inside. So here included, we've got SD card storage, you have slotted screwdrivers, you have a pry bar, you have a wire stripper, you have a nail puller, you have metric drivers as well as SAE drivers. You also have a bottle opener, you have all sorts of attachments here. You can see that this is the actual shape of a legitimate SD card. And you can see in the video here, I did fit one on the inside. It doesn't clip in, but what you can do is combine these two pieces, wrap the band around it, or even a piece of tape, and that SD card is now secure. According to 511 Tactical, because of the material that this is made out of, it's going to be resistant to RFID attacks, so your SD card or whatever memory card you decide to store in here will actually be safe. So it's pretty cool that it comes with the wire strippers and the bottle opener and all these itty bitty pieces combined, and it also comes with more than one band. So I have the black band here in my hand, and it also comes with a green one. I'm a green guy, I like green. This is probably the one I'll be using when I decide to carry this thing. But they call it the wallet because it really truly can fit in your pocket much like a wallet would. And they also claim that it is TSA approved. Now I have put that claim to the test from other companies. I believe there was another multi-tool that I legitimately took in an airport through TSA. I had no issues whatsoever. The thing with that multi-tool is that it was majority plastic. It was mostly like a polymer. This is entirely made of metal minus the rubber band itself. You know I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna take this into an airport and hope that I don't get arrested. But 511 claims that you can take it into an airport. I was curious to know where 511 came from, so I did some research. It turns out that this is a climbing reference. In the world of climbing, a 5.10 is the most difficult climb that you can attempt. They came up with 511 because technically that should be impossible, but their intent is to provide you gear to help you achieve the impossible. That's kind of cool, right? 510 should be as hard as it gets. 511 should not be possible. 511 Tactical makes it possible. They started making pants, and then they branched out into multi-tools and equipment and gear used by climbers, military, civilians, firefighters, first responders. Really cool product from 511 Tactical. Up next, the Rapid Rope Mini Canister. If you're sick and tired of needing some cord at home or on an adventure only to find it all tangled up, you're going to love this rope in a can. Rapid Rope gives you 70 feet of 1,100 pound test cord in an easy to deploy canister at your fingertips. A convenient and compact way to store and access rope when you need it now. Small enough to carry with you on any adventure, it's weather resistant, shatterproof canister. Rapid Rope is ready to tie it down. Rapid Rope is perfect for your truck, RV, ATV, UTV, boat, backpack, house, garage, cabin, and more. Use it for camping, hiking, fishing, hunting, ranching, gardening, and so much more. So yeah, look, it does come in this super convenient little canister, and it deploys from the top. Here at the top you also have a cord cutter to cut it with. So this is everything you need. No additional knives or materials necessary. This is shatterproof. It is very resistant to crushing or breaking, and I love the rope itself. Of note, when you get this, you're gonna realize that this is more like webbing than it is a tubular rope. Webbing does have some very specific intended uses. It's not necessarily better than rope, it's just different, and it's important to know when to use webbing versus rope. Generally speaking, rope is gonna be stronger than webbing, just because it's circular. Sometimes there's stuff, innards, sewn through the center of it, and that gives it an increased strength. Rope also typically has a stretch factor to it. So whenever you use rope, you have to account for the fact that the tighter it gets, it's going to stretch a little bit. It's not a good thing or a bad thing, but that's something you do have to take into account, especially when you're considering very, very heavy loads. If you're trying to tie down heavy equipment, you have to think about the fact that it will potentially shift due to the stretch of the rope. That is not going to be as much of a factor when using webbing. For example, you can hear me pull on this. No give whatsoever. And I'm definitely not gonna break this thing. 1,100 pound tensile strength, that's pretty incredible. In fact, I put myself through a completely unnecessary scenario in order to demonstrate my faith in this product. I'm like 180 pounds at most. That was lightweight for this rope, but I did wanna show you that I trust it and how comfortable it was for me to sit on. Another advantage of using webbing versus rope, that generally speaking, it's gonna be a little bit more forgiving on the hands. And that is because with a flat surface, the pressure that's being applied to that surface is going to be spread out more evenly versus a rope, which is going to be round, and it'll crush a little bit into like an oblong oval shape, but still it's going to be coming down on a point on your skin. This, I could actually put my whole body weight on it. You see I wrapped it around my backside there. No pain or discomfort whatsoever. Very, very forgiving on the skin. I really like the way that this can be used. And last but not least, webbing can be folded and then thread through potentially smaller places than a standard circular tubular rope would be. When you fold this one in half, it's kind of like 550 cord thickness. Once you unfold it, you're gonna have something much stronger than 550 cord. In fact, now that I think about it, 550 cord is supposed to be rated for 550 pounds. This is rated up to 1,100 pounds. So that makes a lot of sense. Super soft, super comfortable. I love the design. I love the way that it's deployed. I think this is a great product that you'll find many uses for. Have at it. Oh, look at all this extra stuff. I forgot I brought this. Much like 550 cord or many other ropes out there, this can be burned. You can burn the end of this and it melts like wax, and you now have a sealed into your rope. It's not going to come frayed and loose, and then you risk, the rope itself losing its integrity. So yeah, you can burn this stuff just like 550 cord, dries almost instantly, and then you have the end of it's nice and sealed off. What we got next? I'm gonna pull out these bad boys. Ta-da! From Utica. Utica has continuously manufactured pocket knives since 1910 and imports a wide range of pocket, lockback, fixed blade, and other liner lock knives. The campsite combo comes with an axe, fixed blade knife, and a folding liner lock knife. Made with 8C113 MOV blade steel for superior hardness, excellent edge retention, and maximum strength. The rugged rubber handles have been engineered to deliver the ultimate hold in practically any situation. Utica, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, has been around in the United States since 1910. I believe their first shop was actually in New York. They've been American made ever since, as far as I'm aware. They started out with folding knives, and then they kind of got into kitchen cutlery. And then in the 40s, when World War II was in full effect, they started aiding in the war effort. And at that point, they were actually recognized for their contributions and the quality of the products that they were producing. They've been around ever since. They're still making great stuff. Now, what I want to say about these products, I am guilty of this as well. Every once in a while you come across a knife that's a work of art and you don't really want to damage or dirty that work of art. And I get it. There's some really beautiful blades out there and you just can't bring yourself to use it for its intended purpose. Maybe its intended purpose was just to look nice. That's totally fine, man. But this stuff was built to be used. As soon as you put your hands on this, you can tell that this is something you can go to work with. It feels so good in your hand. It's sharp as hell, and it's a beautiful blade. All three of these products, you have the fixed blade, you have the folding knife, and you have this little miniature axe/hatchet. Two of the three products come with a sleeve or a little protective carrier. These are nice too because they've got the hook on the back, so you could, hook this onto a belt loop or store it in a box or whatever. But yeah, this also comes with like a hatchet, and this thing is so crazy sharp. It's got a good weight to it, feels great in your hand. It's got the molded handles with this green and black color scheme going on. But all I can say is that this was intended to be used. If you're looking for a new set for field work, whether it's for hunting and cleaning game, or if it's for woodworking or just daily use in the yard, these are gonna be your go-to items. Camping, sure, whatever you wanna use it for. This was built with no other intent than to be used, and I highly encourage you to do that. When this shows up and you get your hands on it, you're gonna say, wow, these are my go-to workhorses. Use it what it was intended for and put this stuff to use. I love the way that this fits in there. Great fit. Got the nylon sheath. Same thing with the little axe/hatchet here. Slides right in. Buttons to keep it secure, not going anywhere. And then the folder, you're just gonna stick that in your pocket. It's got the clip on it as necessary. And it's a great product, man. This is good stuff. The Wiley X Spear meets ballistic safety standards for optical quality and high mass/high velocity impacts. Despite the bold frame, the Spear is lightweight and can be worn comfortably for extended periods of time. The Spear's removable facial cavity seal helps provide extra protection by preventing dust and dirt from getting into your eyes. Designing protective eyewear for the brave men and women that protect our country is an honor that Wiley X takes seriously. I will say Wiley X is probably the most common optic in terms of personal eye safety that I came across while I was active duty. They must have a deal with the DoD because that's what I was actually issued at a couple of different points during my career. Never had goggles though. These have like a very specific intended use. So let me open these things up and show it to you. I'm not going to destroy the box because some people don't like when I destroy the box. I'm going to open this like a normal person. Comes in this great little carrying case. Carrying case does have a loop here for whatever you want to use it for. All right, here we go. Goggles from Wiley X. Talk about tactical, this is the definition of tactical. I don't think that you're gonna be like mowing your yard in these bad boys. You can if you want to. They've got vents for great ventilation. They're very, very comfortable. It's got padding on the inside. Crazy visibility. You can see left, right, up, down. I do like when goggles are connected in the center and you don't have two separate frames, and so you kind of have to use the left eye, right eye sort of scenario. Great field of vision with these goggles. I'm gonna stick these things on my head, see what they look like. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ready to kill. I feel so tactical right now. If you're active duty, you could totally use this with your ACH, regardless of your branch of service or if you're a first responder. If you use headgear, this is likely to be compatible with your headgear. It has an adjustable elastic strap on the back that can be adjusted to be used just with your head or loose enough to go around the entire helmet, right? And it does come with multiple lenses rather. This is blacked out. This is gonna be for daytime use. If you need to cover your eyes for any specific like visual reason, if you don't want someone to see your eyes. Alternatively, you do have the clear lenses. This is going to be most optimal for a night scenario. When it's dark outside, you don't want to have shaded lenses. Clear lenses are going to be better for that. How's it look though? It feels good. I can feel the air coming in on all sides, which is great for preventing excess moisture on the inside and specifically fog. Fog buildup is going to be your worst enemy. You can go from like tactical Batman ready to kill to completely useless because you can't see anything due to the fog on the inside. That being said, Wiley X thinks about these things and they did provide you with 1, a cleaning cloth, and 2, anti-fog cleansers. This stuff works. If you've never used it before, you can wipe it on the inside or outside. Tear open packet, remove, wipe. Do not unfold towel. Wipe onto fogged lens of sides. Let lens dry without buffing. Reuse wipe until dry. So yeah, whatever side is fogging, I feel like most often the inside fogs because that's where the moisture is building from the sweat on your face. You can wipe this on the inside, let it air dry, and that will actually prevent fog buildup. Pretty sweet. I know Wiley X thinks about these things. They really do truly care for service members, and they think about the types of environments that those individuals are going to be facing. What type of environment you're going to be operating in, 100% determine what type of gear you need and the functionality of that gear. I don't know if I'm going to be in any deserts that's going to need this type of thing, but like I own it now, so I'm going to find a use for it. Also important to know, it does come with the nasal connection here. So what this is for if you have prescription lenses. Oftentimes the DoD will provide you a prescription lens that clips into goggles like this. This little nose piece here clips into the prescription lenses and then hooks into the whole system here so that you can still have your prescriptions while wearing these protective goggles. Genius. I was there once for the PRK days. I also had to wear corrective lenses while in the field. It's a terribly inconvenient situation, but it's a lot safer than wearing contacts. Do pose a pretty massive threat when you're out in the field. The last thing you want to do is be in the middle of a firefight or some sort of tactical scenario. and then you have dust in your eye, or you get a dry contact lens and suddenly you can't see anything. For those scenarios, you definitely want to make sure you have hard prescription lenses to prevent anything from getting in your eye. Wonderful product from Wiley X. I might just start wearing those around the house just for the sake of being tactical in my own home. Last but not least, I have a very interesting product. We have a compass, and not just any compass, a lensatic compass. A classic military style sighting compass, also known as a lensatic compass. This compass is perfect for those who want a bomber mirror sighting compass. The heavy duty metal body with a long straight edge ensures easy and accurate map work. The hinged points then allow the body to be folded down into a small 3 by 2.2 inch unit that can be slid into a pocket. The liquid dampened vial has luminous points of reference, while magnification on the vial allows for an easy read of the 2-degree resolution. Alright, let's pull this bad boy out. I have spent a significant amount of time carrying these during my active duty career. So this is what the whole thing looks like when it's folded up. It really does not take up much room in your pocket. You can stick it in your vest, you can stick it into a little whatever you want to. What this is used for is getting you from A to B without the use of any sort of electronic technology. Getting yourself from A to B without GPS is becoming a very, very rare and dying skill set. I don't think I realized how few people in the world can look at a paper map, use a compass like this, and get to where they need to go. It's really not all that difficult, but it does take some practice and a little bit of understanding to know the difference between grid north and magnetic north and true north. But once you understand the terminology and having an azimuth and all this other stuff, you can really truly get yourself anywhere in the world so long as you have an accurate map. So, these things are top tier. This is as good as it gets when it comes to compasses. This is as nice, if not nicer, than the one that I was issued during basic training. The way these things work, right? Step one is to acquire yourself a paper map. Then you're going to use that paper map to determine where you are and where you want to go. You can then use this compass to orient that map north, and then determine what degree, what heading, what azimuth you need to head and for how long. Of course, you're also going to have to determine your pace count or maybe your rate of travel. All of that's going to be dependent upon the terrain that you're operating within, right? So like you could probably walk pretty fast, pretty steady pace in the desert if it's flat and you have no obstacles. But in the mountains, it's going to be a different scenario, right? You might be walking up and, bobbing and weaving in and out of trees. You might face cliff faces that you're gonna have to go around, right? All those things would, affect the way that you travel and manipulate the earth. But this is still gonna get you from A to B. And this is the way that we use these things, right? After you determine what direction you're going and how far you have to go, you take this bad boy, you fold it into a little triangle. You actually don't have to have these parts connect. You can use it just like this. It's sort of personal preference. I have always preferred to simply clasp these two pieces together for the sake of consistency. You also have this little hinge on the back. This is not necessary for the functionality of it. You can use it as a reference point. You could fold it down and use it as a reference point for your thumb so that you hold it the same way every single time. You could also use it as a reference point for your cheek so that you're looking through the device the same way every single time. Or just use it, as a hook, clasp it onto yourself or whatever. But what you're gonna do is after you have a degree, you have a heading, you're gonna look through the little magnification piece here. You're going to find that degree or that heading. Say I wanna go 500 meters at 200 degrees. This is the direction that I'm gonna go. Once you've determined the direction that you wanna travel, you're gonna use the sighting wire on top and pick out an object in the distance that is in line with that sighting wire. Whether that's a tree or a mountaintop or a building, whatever it is, you can now remove this compass from your face, determine exactly where you want to go, and start walking. There's a method called dead reckoning, which essentially means identifying a series of points in which you're going to travel from A to B, B to C, C to D, and get to where you need to go. I think that this is a skill that everyone should learn. It's really not that difficult. I think you could learn it in an hour. Finding a map is definitely going to be step one, a map of specifically where you live. It might be more fun to go to a place that's like away from an urban environment and practice out in the woods somewhere. It's also a great skill to teach your kids. Show them what a compass does. Explain that north is a direction that you can travel. And if you go north, you're going to end up somewhere specific. And then use the compass to find south and go south and understand that that's the opposite of north. It might sound kind of elementary, but those are skills that are really truly dying, and I think that those of us that still know how to do this are more prepared than others. That's the lensatic compass. And that's all from supply drop number 20. Again, this was the major box. I think that my favorite product from this box was absolutely the Lensatic compass. It's forced me to brush the dust off of a skill set that needed refreshing, and so I really appreciate that. That's something that I look forward to doing. And I hope that you decide to use this stuff. I hope that you decide to apply a new skill set to your life, or maybe like me, brush off the dust and learn to reutilize these skill sets. So what did you think? I hope you found this interesting. We want you to join the club. As always, there are 4 ways to join our club. There are 3 month-to-month options. Those are the lieutenant, the captain, and the major. And of course, we have one gigantic box that we offer quarterly. That one's called the general. Whatever your preference is, whatever your price point, we're gonna offer great high quality gear to everybody. So stop messing around, join the club today, and I'll see you soon.